Hello, can you hear me well? Okay, good. I'm really happy to see you all. Thank you very much to SpunkGo and Mitra particularly for inviting me as a speaker. I'm Arailym Zhakypova. I'm an author of Mr. Boss and Miss Boss productivity planners for teenagers and students. And actually some parents also use it. But before I'll go with my profile, I want us to start with the topic of today's webinar, which is about the uniqueness of relationship between parents and children. So I think that there are some moms with us today and probably kids. And even though you are grown-up, child is called. Sorry, showing me here that the internet connection is not stable. Is it fine, Mitra? Can you hear me well?
I can hear you.
Okay, well, good. Just guide me in case if something is wrong. Okay. Well, is my presentation seen well? Good. Well, guys, so today I want us to speak about uniqueness because everyone is unique, but not everyone is accepting that and understanding that. Okay, let's move forward. Sorry, I can't just. Wait a minute. Okay. So, oh my goodness. Why it's jumping. Okay, we'll speak about being unique. What does that mean? Before we start, I want you to answer yourself, and probably you can, we can make it interactive. Firstly, ask yourself, what does being unique mean to you? How do you understand the term of uniqueness? Some people accept it as a negative point because they don't want to see how others being different from the crowd, from the team, and so on. But being unique is actually a normal and stable condition for everyone. Why? I'll explain you now. So I'm Arailym Zhakypova, and I'm at your service today. I'm an educational expert of the United Arab Emirates and CIS. Originally, I'm from Kazakhstan, but I worked for 7 years in education sector of Dubai, particularly with branch campuses of British and American universities, as well as British school, as a marketing admission specialist and PR and marketing manager. And I'm the only specialist from CIS who worked in both sectors, which is international and local. Well, in my profile, I helped more than 500 students from 20 countries to study abroad. I taught 100+ teenagers growth mindset due to Kidpreneurs Academy in English for non-English speaking countries. And I'm an author of productivity planners called Mr. and Miss Boss. I'm unique, mom of 3 kids, and unique daughter, sister, wife, and friend. I'm unique trainer, teacher, coach, and I'm unique mompreneur. Now I want you to create your list of uniqueness. Because when we speak about ourselves, we always try to kind of find our advantages, our achievements. But actually, it's not about being on the top of some awards. It's about knowing your value. And your value is, even if you are not doing anything valuable as per your point of view. But trust me, even being a mom all day long at home, even though you feel that you are not working, you are not earning money, you are not adding value to the society, you are doing the biggest job in your life because you are growing in your generation. That's why you are adding up a lot of value to this society. Sorry, just a second. Well, I'll just turn it off because the voice is distracting me a little bit. Okay, your uniqueness can be considered based on your appearance and personality, based on your roles in society, based on your behavior and positioning, as well as your relations with the environment. As I requested you in the beginning of this presentation, you can just mark some certain things which are important for you in order to find out your uniqueness. And I hope that by the end of this webinar, you will feel that you are truly unique and you are a big value for this world. Well, your uniqueness can be expressed in the role of individual as a social player. Now we are talking about the environment that you are living in, which you collaborate with, and also your uniqueness in the role of a parent or a child. That's up to your status or up to your preference. Let's consider and explore the uniqueness of your child, for example. I'm talking from the parent's perspective. So first thing we need to find out is external uniqueness. By the way, sorry? Hello? I'm sorry, the voice is not clear. If you don't mind, if you can chat it. Okay, now I can see the chat. I'm sorry. I missed something probably. Yeah, I've seen very good explanations of being unique and it being special and different in your own way, right? Being proud of who you are, that's also your uniqueness. But not everyone has that feeling of being proud, you know. Walaikum assalam, Salbia. Okay. Good. That's really good. Like Irene, right? Irene mentioned all the qualities which are important to feel and to find out your uniqueness. Cool. Okay, so as we mentioned, sorry, I was just mentioning that if you noticed in my Zoom profile, it's mentioned Muslim. Muslim is my first child's name. And the thing is, here are some things which I combine sometimes as a parent. Like when we have online classes, he uses my Zoom, even though he has his own personal Zoom, but in order to adjust, I have to mention his name, getting to change the name. But that is uniqueness of our relationship as well. That's true. Being yourself makes you unique. And that's another thing, that's another topic to talk about, being yourself. Well, as we spoke about uniqueness of our parents or our children, we have to think from 4 perspectives. First thing is external. What is like the shown part of your child, which makes him unique. It can be something in his appearance or in his behavior or in your child's attitude or positioning. Even though academic achievements also can be mentioned as an external, probably, in both actually, external and talents. What about internal? Because, for example, as a mom of 3 children, I feel that everyone has own particular way of thinking, way of behaving, way of reacting to certain things. And for example, I cannot approach them in the same way. No, absolutely. Okay, sorry, I'm just reading comments, okay? And as for me, I'm a daughter, I'm a teacher, I'm a sister, I'm a mother. Oh, De La Cruz, that's perfect. You are absolutely right. And you are unique, right? You are unique in all these roles. So basically talking about internal features of your child, for example, I know my elder one would react very impressively, like very emotionally. And he speaks to me that way. He says, Mom, you haven't thought about my feelings. While my second one would be more of so confident and kind of ignoring. So there is an age gap of 5 years between them. The eldest one is 9 years old and the second one is 4 years old. And I know that uniqueness within them should be considered while I have my own way to talk to them. Actually, these I learned from teachers, from school teachers in the British school of my son, the previous school we used to attend. And that's a very good point when you make a report of every child as a teacher, and you know what kind of approach should be used towards that child. So that's about internal uniqueness of your child. And about talents, of course, as a parent, you definitely know what your child is good at. And for example, I have 2 sons and a daughter, and my youngest one is only 7 months old right now. So between my 2 sons, I can easily see that the eldest one is more of intellectual. So he likes, it's not about he likes, he's a bit lazy as any boy, but he is good at reading, studying, and he accepts intellectual information much easier. But in terms of sport, he's very active though, but I feel he is not so sporty compared to the second one, because the second one is very active. He is good at any activity outside, even though he's dancing, he's jumping, he's boxing. He does it in a very proper way, even though he's trying it for the first time. And it's important to pay attention at the talents, at abilities of your child, because based on that, what they are good at, you can develop their confidence, their like future in terms of achievements. And even when they, for example, join the university, they can be awarded for non-academic achievements, which is also very good for them and useful. And the last criteria is moral. So we have to consider their moral uniqueness. As I mentioned, some of us prefer to help animals and pets, but some people are not so good at that, but probably they are considering more of themselves being useful for the planet, for being eco-friendly. And there are so many ways to be unique. To show their moral uniqueness. And what we just need to do is to develop that in our children, as well as in ourselves. Well, let's speak about the next one. Sorry. Hi, Maria. Nice to see you. Okay. Just please remember that you and your parent or your child are unique. Everyone is unique, right? Because there is no other Arailym in the world with the same features, I mean in terms of appearance, with the same family, with the same achievements, with the same education, with the same interests, for example. So the same applies to everyone. That's why just keep in your mind that you are unique, and that's brilliant to be unique. And now I want you to answer in the chat what makes your child unique. Just think properly, because I really like the questionology science, because by asking good questions and right questions, we find out so many right answers and decisions for ourselves. Even sometimes I'm wondering, why haven't I asked it earlier? Because if I could have asked myself about this, probably at the point of time when I had problems with that, I could have changed the solution easily, and I wouldn't have these problems. So when sometimes we know that it's okay when sometimes you have, you see your child being aggressive, you see your child being sad, being like probably naughty or shouting even at you. And because, the psychologists prove that a mom, particularly a mom, is a person who the child trusts most. And because of that, sometimes child can let him or herself to behave with mom in the worst case scenario, in the worst way. But that is also kind of uniqueness of relationship between mom and the child. Okay, I got a new message, just a second. Well, Wizzy Angel, thank you for your answer. So his compassion is his uniqueness, and that's good that you accept that and you really appreciate that. But now, can you think about how you can make that uniqueness to be his most beneficial quality? Well, let's move to the next slide, sorry. So it's here. Everything is unique. Do you agree with that? Probably you don't think so, because I hear very often that when people just comment, everybody is the same. We all are the same. We all have the same thing. We are kind of, I'm not unique. I have nothing special. There is nothing special in me. There is nothing special in my life. And I totally disagree, because every case has uniqueness. Every person has uniqueness. And we cannot use the same approach for everything, every time. Trust me, as an entrepreneur, I experienced a lot of failures. I still experience them, but every time I try to use the same instrument which I used before, I still try to accept that this time it would be different. There is a proverb in Russian, you cannot enter the same river twice. Which means that you can't repeatedly do certain things For example, you achieved something and you won't be doing that again in the same way. And that's very true, because the river would be different every time. You know, the water in the river flows differently. Well, any questions? Would you want to ask any questions about how to develop that uniqueness, how to trust yourself, how to be confident in yourself and develop your uniqueness?
Thank you so much for your presentation. This was absolutely amazing. And I love how everybody is unique and everyone needs to realize that. So I'll read out the questions as they come.
Yes, please.
So the first question we have here is, how does one realize they're unique?
Well, first of all, we all are unique. And you should start with that point. For example, as I mentioned, we have like factory of books, right? Like I have published like many copies of these books, planners, but why each of them is unique? What do you think? Can you answer that question? Why this particular one, which I'm holding right now, is unique? Can you answer my question?
It could be because it's your book and you
Absolutely. Absolutely. It belongs to me. It has my energy. I feel it with my pen, with my hand, and with my thoughts, with my plans. So it consists of my personality. Okay. And every planner owned by anyone is unique, even though it's the same book. But if we talk about certain products, for example, from the business perspective, you should answer yourself why your product is unique. Of course, you need to be competitive. That means definitely you would have competitors in the market. You would have certain products which are similar with your products, which are similar with your values, for example. But there is, for sure, there is a uniqueness in your values, in your product. The way you approach, the way you deliver would be totally different from the way others do that. Even though they are at the same level, it's not that somebody is bad, somebody is good. It's about they can be equal. They can be equally good or even equally bad. But everyone has own approach, has own way. Because, for example, behind any business, we feel not the business, not the product, we feel people.
That's great advice. And I think that everybody needed to hear that.
Thank you.
The next question is, in the current age of social media, where children can be guided by the media, how can we encourage them to appreciate and be proud of their uniqueness?
Oh, that's a great question, actually. And it's truly not easy, to be frankly, because sometimes, especially at the age of approximately 10 plus, they start copying. They start copying celebrities or their friends in order to be similar, you know, to look kind of same. And at that point of time, it's very important to explain them that if, for example, you look different from your friends in terms of clothing, because they just follow trends and you don't. For certain reasons, it's not always about your preferences, but just you don't follow the trends. You should explain them that, your children, that your uniqueness is about being individual. For example, those who are in trends, they may look very similar, and it's hardly possible to differentiate who is who. But you are unique due to your clothing style, due to your behavior, due to your way of speaking, for example. I used to be kind of different child because I was not following those trends in terms of clothing. I was not using swear words at the age of teenage, while being a teenager, because in my family it was not acceptable, and I'm proud of that. But I was not looking cool in front of others because I was not doing the same thing. However, even though today I feel so proud of myself, I feel so happy that I was different, and people trust me, even though who used to kind of mocking me, they still feel me and call me different. And at that time, when they do that, I don't feel they are mocking. I feel that they are kind of jealous because they couldn't express their uniqueness. And our role is to express it in ourselves, to explore it, and to explore it in our children. Encourage them to be different, encourage them to love themselves.
That was great. Yeah, I think that that's a very important part of childhood, and it can also shape how a child grows up to be. Really quickly, can you share your LinkedIn so the people of the audience can connect with you?
Sure, definitely. I would be happy to do that. And you can get updates on my events and certain things. So you can either mention actually this photo in the last page of my presentation is from my LinkedIn. So either you just follow my by name and last name, or you can also add first two letters, which is AZ, and then Arailym. AZ Arailym is my LinkedIn.
Thank you very much. So the next question we have here is, how do we connect with people even though we are different?
Well, that's a good point. First of all, the main person who you should connect with is yourself. And not everyone understands that. Even people at the age of 70 do not understand and accept that. They always think that they should look for somebody's company. They need somebody in order to understand themselves better. But it's not true. When you just sit intimately with yourself and ask yourself important questions. What do you like? What do you prefer? Why do you feel sad? Accept that you are feeling sad in case it's so. Why you dislike or like some situations? Why you prefer not to be there where you are now? And then think what you can change based on that. What you can do in order to make your life better, happier. And sometimes, trust me, the main thing we should do is accept. First of all, accept that you really don't like it, or accept that you really not wanting kind of love yourself as you are.
I agree. It is important to love yourself first before going to someone else. And there's a phrase that comes to mind when I think of this. If you're not happy on your own, you can't be happy with someone else.
Absolutely. Absolutely true. And agree with you.
Mm-hmm. The next question we have is, how can we show people that they're unique if they are not willing to listen?
Okay. That's very interesting. Sometimes people are so aggressive, especially when you are trying to help them, but they are not willing to accept that help. And in a way, it's not right from your side also to insist in that. But you just ask that person what that person loves in him or herself. Why that person finds, because especially aggressive people, they are kind of make a mask that they are better than others, okay? Or they are not compulsory aggressive, but they can be kind of negative, they can be passive, or there are many ways to express that. But if you find those people are very not confident in themselves, they are unconfident people, and you just need to help them to build that confidence. Of course, that confidence starts with understanding who you are. If you can help others to do that, you can help them to explore their uniqueness. We all are unique, and they just need to remember that.
Thank you so much. That was the last question. So if you have any words that you would like to say to the audience before I close the webinar.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much, Nitra, to you for your global, brilliant organization. And I just mentioned in my Instagram so proudly that you are being so young, could do such a big mission. And I'm so happy to be with you today. I'm thanking everyone who attended the webinar. I hope that it was somehow useful for you and you can use it in your future. In case if you want, there are e-versions of our planners where you can practice. They are bilingual in Russian and English. Either you can contact me on my Instagram and I'll be happy to answer your questions, either to support you with any advice if I can.
Thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate the comments very much. If you need any more information, please visit our website, www.spunkgo.com. Thank you all for attending, and good day.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye.